I was expected to be named Employee of the Year, but instead, I was punished in front of the entire office. I stayed silent at that moment, but that silence was only the calm before the storm. That day, something shifted. I didn't just lose a promotion, I watched years of hard work, trust, and patience get dismissed. But the real story began the moment that silence ended. My name is Ethan Clark. I'm a senior risk auditor at a well-established financial consultancy firm in Boston. For over 6 years, I've been solving complex portfolio analyses and managing crises that have steadily increased company profits. Especially in the last quarter, I salvaged a merger deal single-handedly, earning admiration from executives. Even the CEO praised my contribution. The end-of-year review was a mere formality. I was certain the promotion was mine. As I entered the conference room, I carried a quiet but intense expectation. My suit was pressed, my presentation was ready, and my confidence was high. My manager, Lena Hargrove, began the session. After reviewing the company's annual highlights, she moved to the announcement of Employee of the Year. This year, we recognize someone who has brought visionary energy and made a significant impact in a short time. My heart pounded. But the name on the screen wasn't mine. The promotion went to James Lockwood, someone who had joined the company just 6 months ago. Applause erupted. I sat frozen. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe a staged announcement. But as seconds ticked by and Lena's eyes avoided mine, it became clear, this wasn't an oversight, it was a deliberate choice. My coworkers avoided eye contact, a few gave me apologetic glances, but no one said a word. Suddenly, every relationship I thought I had in the company dissolved. I left early that day, briefcase in hand. I wasn't angry. I was focused. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The next morning, I found an envelope on my desk. Inside was my new job description and office location. I'd been demoted. My authority stripped, I was reassigned to a low-level administrative consultant role. My new office? A windowless room near the basement. I was no longer invited to meetings. It was a clear attempt to erase me. But isolation gave me space. In that obscured corner of the building, I found clarity. I dove into the very records that had been bothering me for weeks. Lena's project budgets didn't add up. Expense reports showed the same items repeated under different headings. Something was wrong, but I needed proof. I stayed late, combing through archived files. Consultant fees stood out, different company names, but all the payments funneled into one bank account. This wasn't carelessness. It was fraud. But I couldn't go public without evidence. That's when I reached out to Caleb Morgan, an old friend and cybersecurity expert I'd met during a merger years ago. I sent him just one line, "It's time." Within 2 days, Caleb recovered archived server backups. What he found was damning. Lena had created ghost invoices and redirected project funds to shell companies. The money all ended up in a personal account under her cousin's name. The digital trail was undeniable. I had the evidence. Now I needed timing. The company's annual performance review was 1 week away. All senior executives, including the CEO, would be present. If I could reveal the fraud then, there'd be no cover-up. But I needed help from inside. I reached out to Madison Carter, the CEO's assistant. Years ago, I helped her navigate a company-wide tech issue. I reminded her. She hesitated, then agreed to grant me access to the presentation system. The day arrived. Lena stepped up confidently to deliver her keynote. Her eyes sparkled with arrogance. As she opened her mouth to speak, the screen flickered. Caleb's prepared video hijacked the display. Fake companies. Fraudulent invoices. Email threads. Bank transactions. And finally, An audio clip, Lena's voice. No one will find these files. The system protects me. CEO Mr. Halberd asked, "Is this real?" Lena shouted, "This is fake." But her voice cracked. I didn't say a word. I handed over a physical folder of documents. Security entered the room. Lena, now trembling, stood and was escorted out in front of everyone. 3 days later, Lena was suspended. An internal memo announced collaboration with federal fraud investigators. The company never thanked me publicly, but the acknowledgement came in other ways. Coworkers now greeted me with respect. Executives who once avoided me nodded quietly in the halls. Soon after, CEO Halberd called me into his office. He offered me leadership of a newly formed ethics and compliance unit. I agreed, on one condition: total independence. No reporting lines below the CEO. No silencing. No oversight. Justice, unfiltered. Months passed. Internal protocols evolved. New hires joined. Madison began supporting the ethics unit. Caleb was brought on as an external advisor. On the surface, I was still quiet, still modest. But now, I was at the heart of it all. Not just diligent, but courageous. One evening, while sitting at a park bench overlooking Boston's skyline, I received a message from Madison: "Thank you for doing this. The company is safer now." I looked up at the stars. Revenge had been served. But more importantly, I had beaten the system from within. Thus, a journey that began in silence ended in victory at the highest floors of the company. The noise of betrayal was loud, but true justice came as a quiet whisper.